Hi guys, and welcome to Shuffle Game developed using C++ Builder. Let me show you guys how this works. Just click on those buttons to arrange the numbers. The whole idea, as you guys can guess, is just to get the numbers all arranged accordingly. There we go, guys. So what I am going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into C++ development environment, where we put one of these together. But before then, you can see the solution explorer there. We can always click on the solution and that's it, or reset the whole system and start all over. So let's go into C++ development environment now and put one of these together. So exit out. Yeah. Alright, and welcome back to C++ development environment. I'm going to start by going to File. Let's click on New and we select the VCL application. There we go. Before I go any further, I'm going to name this system. Let's just save it just right in here. Call it Shuffle. Grab this very folder and click on Save. There we go. I want to save the project as well. Let's do that now. Save. And save that as well. I will end up with a P there so that I know the difference. Click on Save. There. Now the file is saved, or the project is saved. I'm going to select the form, make sure the form is selected. Let's come right here. The first thing is just to define the size of this form. Let's make that 720. There we go. And the width will make that 1386. There. Okay, that's fine. Now let's come right here. You see the palette. Inside the palette, enter TP. That should take you straight to the panel. T panel. Just draw the T panel somewhere there. All the way. Okay, then that's fine. We have our T panel in place. The next thing is I'm going to grab a button there. Just type in TB. There we go. That's a button. And draw that right here somewhere there. There. That's fine. And I'm going to need labels. Grab a label. TL. There we go. We have our label as well. Okay, that's fine. Now, the three components, I'm going to select it all and let's go straight into the font, and we change the font to about something readable, something very reasonable and readable. I'm going to make that about 58. And you see this panel, I'm going to make that bold. Let's come in there and just select bold for that. There we go. And let's change the data or the text content inside the T panel. I'm going to enter Shuffle Game, or maybe Games in C++ Builder. There we go. Now, that's my very first button there. The very first button, I'm going to delete whatever text content I have in there. There we go. And just copy that. Control C, copy. Let's copy that. Paste. There we go. And copy again. Copy and paste. There we go. Right there. Okay. I'm going to grab just one of it. Copy that and paste it right at the edge here. Just drag it that much. select all of the buttons and let's copy it again. Control C, paste. We have one more. Control C again. Whoa, that's pasted there. That is it right up here. Let's grab it and drag it down. There we go. Alright. Okay, all my buttons are in place now. So let's save, and I'm going to run it and just show you guys how the whole interface looks like for now. It's coming up. And right there. So just move it up there. That's how it's looking, and nothing is happening so far. Okay, I'm going to exit out. First of all, click on the form and let's come to align so that I can get it centered. You see where we have align? Click on that, drop it down, select this right at the top. Good. Now select each button. Select this very first one, and I'm going to change the name of this button. Scroll right down. Let's look for name right there. I'm going to call that BTN num1. That is good. Press enter, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for the others. This will be num2, yeah, that's fine. We have num3, BTN number 3, BTN4, number 4, and this is going to be BTN number 5, number 6, and so on. Let's speed that up. Alright, each button now has their own variable name, and the other thing is the choice is yours in this case. If you want to enter a value on each of the buttons, so this one is going to be, let's say 1, which doesn't really make any difference, 2, 3, and so on. Okay, each button now has their own number apart from the last one. There's no number on the last one. Okay, that is fine. Now let's come in here. You see this very button here? We're going to change that. Let's change that to BTN. That's going to be exit. So let's come right in here. Just enter exit in there. Exit. And the variable name is going to be exit as well. Okay, let's come right down here. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for the others. Let's come right here. There. The variable name is going to be BTN exit. Right, this is going to be reset. That should be BTN reset. There. And the caption, we change that to reset. And here, I'm going to call that solution. And if you have a guess, that's going to be known as BTN solution. Let's bring it down a little bit. And where is it? Right here. BTN solution. Nice one. Okay, here you see this very label. I'm going to copy that very label, copy, and paste it right below. Drag it down. And the content in here, I'm going to change that to the caption, change that to 0. Let's get it centered here somewhere. Right. And the name. So we change the variable name to number of LBL. Let's say LBL, number of clicks. LBL, number of clicks. There. Just like the name says. And this very one here, I'm going to change the caption to number of clicks. and let's get it. Let's scroll right down. You see where we have world wrapped? Let's get it wrapped there, and I'm going to drag this down somewhere there and just reduce it that much so that we can get it wrapped. There we go. And also we need to get it centered. Let's look for the alignment. I think that's right at the top here. You see the alignment? Let's get it centered there. That's good. Alright, if you look at the size of this, I've increased the size of this and the font, and let's see what is okay. And this will be, I want this to be equivalent to this. Let's come down here, bring it down a little bit. Right, that's fine. And a little bit of space here, and bring this down. That's good. Alright, bring this down as well. Okay, now that's fine. Looking good. And here, the name on this, let's take that off. That should be exit. And the variable name, I think that is correct. Yeah, that's fine. Okay then, if I run it now, let's see how that's gonna look like. Then we can continue with the coding part of it. There we go. That's how it's looking right now. Okay then, so let's exit out. The next thing we want to do right now is I'm going to double click on the form and just write one single function, just a function to drive the buttons around. Okay, before I start with the function, I'll first of all just declare a variable right up here, right underneath the form1. I'm going to call that counter. So the data type is an integer, and we just call that counter. There we go. And let's say counter, I might as well give it a value, just initialize it with 0. There, that's fine. Now, right below the counter itself, I'm going to enter my function. Okay, that very function, I'll call that, let's come right down here, let's say void underscore fast call. Might as well copy and just paste that in there. Void underscore fast call, and that is going to be empty slot, or okay, empty spot checker there. And let's give it an object. The object I'm going to be using is going to be a button, so let's call the very first one button1, comma, create another object, and I'm going to call the name of the second object button2. There we go. You can call it whatever you like. There should be a times or a referential sign in there. Close that, and there. Now let's start work with this function. So what's going to happen is, if button2 is empty, so using an if statement, if button2 pointer caption, if it's empty, equals empty, close that, then enter curly braces. We now want button2 to inherit whatever we have inside button1, equals grab hold of whatever we have inside button1, which means button1 will become empty. So come right down here and make button clear of button1, change this to 1. That's my very first function taken care of. Take a good look at it. Very simple lines of code. This same function, I'm going to call that function, use that function to swap data on the button. So let's click on design, and right here double click on the very first button. Okay, you see in the very first button here, that's the very first button that I'm going to enter the code. But I just want to point out something. You see the very first button can move to 2 and can move 5. So that is where I'm going to address now. So I'm going to just tab in and I will enter empty spot checker. So that is going to be btn number 1, comma, can replace btn num2. Close that there, and it can also replace btn num3, num5 actually. Sorry about that. That would be 5 here. There we go. Done. Alright, now one thing I want you to do is when I click on it, I also want the counter to start counting immediately. No, that should have been counter. Counter equals counter plus 1. Why counter equals counter plus 1? When the value stored right inside LBL number of clicks. That's caption. Yep. Equals counter. There we go. So the very first one is taken care of. Let's see. LBL number of clicks. Let me check out the names. Let's go back to design. What name did I call that? Scroll right down, grab the name. Yeah, LBL number of clicks. Just copy that. Double click on this and paste it right there. There we go. I must have typed it wrong. Okay, there, that is it, taken care of. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for button number 2. I'm going to copy that. Let's go straight into 2. Double click on 2. As you can see, 2 can move 1, 3, 6. Double click on that, paste that in there. Let's tab in first. That will be 2 and 2 here as well, and that is going to be 1, 3, and finally it can move 6. Change that to 6. Button number 3, that should be able to move 2, 4, and 7, I think. Grab that, come right down here, 2, 4, 7. Double click on that and change that to 2, 4, 7. But this is button 3, 3, and 3 here, 3 here, and this will be 2, 4, 4, and 7 right here. There we go. Now button number 4, I think that we only move 3 and 8. Come right down here, 3, 8. Double click on that, paste. So 4 we move 3, 3, 8, and this will be changed to 4, 4, and 4. Alright, looking good so far. Come right down. The next one is 5. 5 will move 1, 6, 9. 1, 6, 9. And this will be 5. And 5 here, and 5 here. And this will be 1, 6, 9. 6 and 9. There we go. So I'm going to go all the way with this coding so that if you are a new beginner, you should be able to follow along. So 6 is going to move 2, 5, 7, 10. So that is 2, 5, 7, 10. 2, 5, 7 and a 10 there. 10, and this is button 6. Change that to 6. And button 7, that will be making 4 directional movement as well. That's 3, 6, 8, 11. That's 3, 6, 8, and 11. And this is 7. There we go. And 8 will be moving 4. I think that will be 3 directions as well. 4, 7, 12. Double click. That's 8. Let's see, let's check that. Have I done 8? No, that was 4. Double click on 4. 4 was not taken care of. The lines of code inside 8 is 4 actually. Come right down here, paste that for 8 and change this to 8, 8, and 8 here. So 8 movement is 4, 7, and 12. So I'm going to copy this. This was meant to be for 4. Copy that and let's go inside 4. That is 4. Double click on 4 and paste that for 4. That was an error. Okay. Now the next one. Let's go for 9. Double click on 9. There we go. Change all of these to 9. 9 here as well. Well, in the case of 9, what direction are we moving? I think that would be 5, 5, and 10. That's 5, 10. There. Now, 10 is going to be 6, 9, 11. 6, 9, 11. 6, 9, and 11. Enter 11 here. And this is going to be 10. Another one here, 10. And 10 here. There we go. So that is taken care of. Now let's take care of 11. Let's copy that. Come right down here. 11 is going to be 7, 10, 12. That's 7, 10, and 12. Why this becomes 11? There. Okay, so finally we want to take care of 12. 12 only has 2 directions. That will be 8 and 11. So let's come in here, double click on 12, 8, 11. Double click, paste. That's 8 and 11. And change the mover to 12 and 12 there. And that is all the buttons movement taken care of. Let's save that and let's run it and see how that's going to work. Hopefully there's no error. That's good. So let's click on 8. You see that, and the counter is taking effect as well. But as you can see, the whole number in there was not shuffled. So we will take care of that in a minute. Alright, that's fine. So that is the whole purpose of this very function there. That's the function that takes care of the shuffling. Now, when I run the program, what you notice is the number just remain in order. That is why I said we don't have to enter numbers, but it's okay. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to put together a line of code, no, a function. Let's come in here. Let's double click on the form itself. Double click on the form. So we use form create. Okay, right inside the form create, the first thing I want to do is, you see the counter, LBL count. I'm going to turn the value in there to 0. There we go. There. And I will also declare some variable, but before then, to be on the safe side, you see the counter, the variable counter, I'm going to change that to 0 as well. Let's say initialize it with 0. There. And I will then declare the following local variable in there. Let's say int, let's say b number, that's button number. This is an array. Okay, so this array contains 12 values. So let's say comma I, comma j, comma, I will call that roll checker. There we go. Those are my arrays. Then I will also declare one boolean. I'll just call that flag. In the case of flag, it's going to be false. There. Those are all my arrays, my array and the variable that I intend to use. Now, let's initialize I with a value I equals 1. Enter semicolon there. Then using a do loop, let's grab a random function, randomize, so that we can use that to take care of the shuffling, number shuffling. So randomize, let's say roll checker. There we go. The roll checker itself is going to be equals random and the random number is going to be 11. Let's say increment it by 1. There. That is fine. Now I'm going to use a for loop so that will actually sort it out. For j equals 1, comma j less than and equals to I, and we increment j by saying j plus plus. Enter curly braces. In that case, if b number, that's the array, is j equals roll checker, I paste that because I've already copied, and enter curly braces. In that case, the flag will be true. There we go. Then we just ask the system to break. Else, I'm going to come down here. Let's go for another if statement. I might as well just copy this. I'm going to copy this. We just say flag. Okay. Grab this. I'll just type it out. Come down here. So if flag itself equals true, if it's true, close that, enter curly braces again, then flag equals false. There. Then we use an else statement in here. Come right down here, say else b number will be I, and that will be roll equals roll checker. There we go. I equals I plus 1. So if that is the case, we now say, come down here, let's say yi less than and equals to 11. We want these following numbers. Get rid of this. Okay, this should be I less than 11. There. And I'm going to delete this. Okay, the error is gone. So what I then want to do now is very simple. We'll now say btn number 1. Let's grab btn number 1 would be, we're taking whatever value we have inside the array. Okay, btn number 1 caption, that will be equals whatever is generated by the array. So that would be for the first value of the array. I'm going to make that 1, and there we go. So that's the very first one. So I'm going to copy this now. Copy. We have in total 12. So just copy this. That's 6. I'm going to copy that and just paste it there. So that is 12, and this is going to be 12. In the case of 12, there will be nothing in there. There we go. And this is 11. We have 10, 9. So don't get confused. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and right here, change the buttons around. So that is going to be 2, 3, and so on. There we go. We have 7 here, 8, 9 here, 10, 11, and 12. There. That is that done. Save. Okay guys, let's try these lines of codes out. So I'm going to click on run. It's coming up, and there we go guys. Look at that. Right, so that is fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, as you can see, the lines of code on the form creates actually change the numbers around. So I'm going to now exit out, then call that same function inside this button here, reset button. So let's exit out and go straight to design. I will now click on the reset. So double click on the reset button, and right here what I want to do now is to call this very button here. Let's go right up. You see this function here of form 1. I'm going to grab hold of that. In fact, grab hold of all of these and come right down and paste that right in here. Then I'm going to get rid of the object though. Get rid of that and just enter semicolon there. I've just called the form itself. So with that, I should be able to kind of like reshuffle the numbers. So let's click on run. There we go guys. So I should be able to look at that, reshuffle the whole button using this. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to exit out, close that. Okay, the next thing that I would like to do now is I'm going to double click on the solution here, and let's just copy. Yeah, I'm going to copy all of these, so that would be for the solution. Let's copy that and come right in here, paste, and just change the value in there to 1, and the next one that's going to be 2, and so on. So let's just speed that up. You can see it's just all I'm just doing is just changing the numbers. And right there, guys, those are the lines of code for the solution. So okay, so let's try that out as well. Click on run. There we go, guys. So if we can click on reset, and there we go, that's the solution. So let's reset again, and you can just play the game around how you want. Okay, reset, and you can see the counter is doing its own thing as well there. So what is left now is for us to take care of these exits, and we can just call it the end of this beautiful tutorial. Alright, so let's take care of the exit. So I'm going to exit out and come right in here, double click on the exit, and in there we just need to enter close there, and that should take care of the exit. So save that, and I'm going to run it again, try that out, and let's see. There we go. That's how you create your own shuffle game in C++ Builder, guys. It's a very nice tutorial for beginners. You will enjoy it as well, and that is why I decided to show you every single steps. So guys, with that, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it. So let's see if the exit works. There we go, the exit works as well there, guys. So with that, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.